So I just finished the Eternity Devil arc and I have so many predictions that I'm sure I'm going to get wrong. Now, first of all, I'm absolutely in love with the trio dynamic in this manga. Even something as simple as Power and Denji saying they would never suck up to Aki, and then all he does is hand them gum and they're immediately polite to him. It's such simple comedy, but I love it. And this wasn't the only moment in this arc where I legitimately laughed out loud, and honestly, the humor is surprisingly well done. Now, I've mentioned before that the art is a major reason I didn't pick up Chainsaw Man, but it's definitely grown on me. Especially because of how he draws comedic facial expressions, like when Aki says that was beyond a prank, and we don't even know what the prank was, but we know from his facial expressions and the way he says it and draws it that it was probably something pretty bad, but also pretty funny. And the fact that we never actually see the prank makes it even funnier. Now, for the record, I never said that the art style was bad, it's just that for me personally, I didn't like that kind of art style. But again, it is growing on me. Another thing growing on me is Denji's motivations, because in the beginning, it just seems like he's the most down bad shonen character ever, but you're starting to see some more layers about other kinds of motivations that he may or may not be having. And most of the time in these series, our main character is either blissfully unaware that a woman actually likes them, or they're too much of a gentleman to take advantage of situations we would all say yes to, like Ichigo and Yoriichi. But in this one, Denji will take every single opportunity he can at every moment. I mean, they literally have Denji barking like a dog, and it cracks me up. Now, immediately into the new arc, my first thought was that Aki is so incredibly doomed. And that's because during this entire Eternity Devil arc, there was maybe 3 or 4 different times when Himeno tells Aki not to be unalived. And if that's not some obvious foreshadowing, then honestly, I don't know what is. Now, I fully acknowledge that it could be a fake out, but from what I've read about Chainsaw Man, there's not really plot armor in this series. Especially because Himeno literally says, "You're my 6th buddy," because all the others have passed away. So either she will be unalived instead of Aki to kind of break that cycle, or she's perpetually in this cycle, Aki will be unalived, and then again, they're just going to keep repeating this cycle of doom over and over and over again. But continuing on with the rest of the chapter, they then immediately find the devil and make quick work of it, as Himeno's contract with the Ghost Devil is also revealed. And her contract with the Ghost Devil is essentially giving up her arm so that she can also use the arm of the ghost, which is actually a pretty powerful ability. And we even see this whenever she actually grabs Power by the throat, but Power is unable to stop it because she can't interact with the ghost hand, and yet the ghost hand can still grab her. So I could see this being supremely useful later on. Now next, they find themselves trapped on the 8th floor in a perpetual loop. The stairs all loop into each other, the rooms, the floor, the ceiling, everything, and time has also stopped. Which actually means that they have inaccessible speed. And then what cracks me up is Denji's complete nonchalant approach to this, as he literally falls asleep while everyone else does work trying to figure out how to get out of this loop. And that was going down, and I thought maybe this was the power of the devil. Maybe this devil can also make them fall asleep inside of this loop. No, Denji literally just didn't care and fell asleep. That was it. His attitude is literally so carefree that it's actually funny and definitely, like I said, growing on me a little bit. And a character who I already said was my favorite earlier, Power, just grows on me further as this girl, Kobeni, tries to give her life story about why she became a hunter in the first place. And even though it is kind of tragic, Power just laughs at her. And I think that's so funny to me. Now, on the opposite side, Kobeni is by far my least favorite character. I think in this arc, she was so freaking annoying. Now, some people are telling me that may change later. Luckily, they haven't told me why, so no spoilers. But as of right now, I do not like her, and she's literally so annoying. They had to knock her out because she was about to drink toilet water. Now from here, they continue to try to figure out what exactly is going on, and before that, we go into a flashback with Himeno and Aki again, and there's definitely something going on there with their chemistry. Though it definitely seems one-sided, I don't think Aki has romantic feelings for Himeno, but I do think Himeno has romantic feelings for Aki. And I think it was mostly because Aki stood up for Himeno whenever he actually stuck some gum onto this girl who slapped Himeno across the face. Now later, we then find out that the devil they unalived earlier is actually still alive, and it's actually grown significantly larger. And this is where they introduce contracts into the series, and they seemingly work just like binding vows in Jujutsu Kaisen, except this time we actually get an explanation as to what will happen if you break one of these contracts, unlike Jujutsu Kaisen, we never really saw anything happen if someone were to break a binding vow. And the contract that the devil is offering is that he would let the rest of them go if they were to feed Denji to him, either alive or unalived. And here, Himeno continues to prove why she is my least favorite character as she tries to give Denji up to the devil to complete the contract. Thankfully, Himeno, who I love, knocks her out quickly. Now, I do understand that her response was very human, and most people in this situation would probably want to do something similar, but this isn't most situations. This is an entirely different world, and if you're going to be in this line of business, you can't be this much of a coward. So for those who are going to be like, oh, it's a human response, I get that it is. This isn't the normal world, though, so don't try to apply normal human responses to this not-so-normal world. Now, we then find out that Aki's fox won't be able to work because they are cut off from the outside world, which means the fox's body too, since the fox's body is in Kyoto. An interesting weakness I'm sure will come up again later, though I'm not quite sure how. So Himeno then uses her ghost hands to attack the devil, but even though it harms it, it doesn't defeat it because the heart is not actually there. So she's basically just damaging it and it just heals. So they go back and forth on what they should do, and Power says she's on team give up Denji, which I did not see coming. But once they mention that fiends and devils actually can't make contracts, she just does a complete 180 and says, I'm bored, wanna wrestle. I love this character. Now, this part is definitely the most annoying part when it came to Kobeni, and probably the most annoying part of the entire series so far. Kobeni wakes up and just starts wreaking havoc because she wants to unalive Denji and feed him to the devil. But this not only caused the group to panic, but also because the devil gets stronger with fear, the Eternity Devil gets significantly stronger and actually starts pressuring them by being able to move them throughout the hotel. And then Kobeni actually tries to attack Denji, but Aki blocks it, saying that he needs anyone who wants to go after the Pew Pew Devil alive because he needs all the help he can get. And I do like this trope because I do like how Aki is just solely focused on this goal and this goal alone. And to me, even though that is a very, very used trope, I like that trope. Now, this wound that he gets is apparently no small thing, and so he's actually out for commission, and Himeno then freaks out, which really puts to my theory that she has romantic feelings for him. Because she was calm, cool, and collected the entire time. And the moment it seemed like Aki was about to go down, she suddenly is freaking out. So there has to be something there. If I'm wrong about that, I will be a little bit salty. But not only does that solidify my theory about Himeno and Aki, or at least Himeno's side, it solidifies me not liking Kobeni because the next thing that she does is blame Denji for all of this. She literally blames Denji for the fact that she hurt Aki. I do not like this character. So then Denji decides to give himself up, but not without going down swinging. His plan is to literally hurt the Eternity Devil so much that it gives up because he realizes that even though the ghost hands from Himeno wasn't able to defeat the Eternity Devil, it still damaged and hurt the Eternity Devil. So if he can't get to the heart, he's going to make him take him to his heart and give up through sheer pain alone, which is insane. But also really nice to know that he thinks with his brain too, especially when it comes to combat. Not only that, but we get a glimmer of some other motivations as he tells Aki he's doing this so that he doesn't owe him for saving his life. Denji then battles the Eternity Devil for 3 days straight and is able to keep his chainsaws going by drinking the blood of the Eternity Devil as he damages him to restart his chains, so it's just perpetually going. Now, this plan does end up working as the Eternity Devil does eventually reveal his heart to Denji and begs him to finish him off. During this, though, we get more flashbacks of Himeno trying to protect Aki by asking him to go to the civilian side of things so they can stay away from all of the dangerous devils. But like I mentioned prior, he is so determined to take down the Pew Pew Devil that he, of course, says no. And now that the Eternity Devil has been defeated, they leave the building, and the next part is just disturbingly weird, I guess is the best way to put it. They all go out drinking to celebrate, which is relatively normal, and even Makima does show up. And Aki even asks her if she knows why Denji is being targeted, and she says that she'll answer his question if anyone there can outdrink her, and of course, not a soul can. Now, this is where Denji wants to get his kiss from Himeno for defeating the Eternity Devil, and he gets his kiss, but it goes nothing like you would expect. Himeno was drinking so much that she kisses him, and then while kissing him, throws up in his mouth. Literally, and you see it. It literally throws up right into his mouth mid-kiss, and it was quite possibly one of the most disgusting things I've seen. Like, what the actual heck? I get it's supposed to be funny, but for me, it was just kind of gross, if I'm being honest. Sorry, I know I shouldn't say literally anything negative about any anime ever, but I just didn't like that. I thought it was completely unnecessary. He then swallows her throw up and then throws it back up himself before Himeno actually takes it back to his apartment and asks him if he wants to do it. All in all, though, a very fun arc which had me making a ton of theories and with a very unsatisfying and disturbing ending, to say the least. Looking forward to more. The next arc seems like it's going to be rather interesting just based off of the name. I will probably finish that this week and have the video out by Friday, so look forward to that.